So I just wanted to just ask you a couple questions going over your experience, things like that. But I guess before we sort of hop into that, can you like share like where you're from, how old you are, like what did you do before all of this?
Well, I have, started off my career in sales, and I was always in sales. I was in telecom for a while, and
Mhm.
then in 2006, I started getting in well, maybe even 2004. I did electronics, and I did resold contracts for telecom systems. So that was kind of somewhat financial because I was always dealing with the CFOs if I could help it. So
Uh-huh.
then after that, I decided I'd go to work in the financial industry, and I went to work at Edward Jones.
Got it.
So I got my Series 7. I got that. I was a pretty decent Edward Jones guy, not that good, but I ended up, staying there for about 4 years, getting a good education. And then after that, I started selling life insurance to the federal space.
Got it. You said you got a Series 7. So did you know about like fundamental analysis, any of these like options
No,
trading when you got
no,
into it?
no, not really. I mean, I took the test, but
Mhm.
at Edward Jones, they mostly had us selling particular stocks or trying to gather assets.
Mhm.
Our job was to gather assets and talk among the community and things like that, more so than actually analyze stocks. I never did that.
Got it. So
In
yeah.
fact, I gravitated towards selling muni bonds because that was just something that I liked to do. I didn't get a lot of clients, enough clients.
Mhm.
So
Got it. So pretty much no experience in terms of, or minimum, if any, experience in terms of selling options, all this kind of stuff. You probably heard about it, but you never really got yourself into it, right?
no, no. I mean, I knew enough. I was amazed by it. I knew enough to, know that there was lots of good things to do in it,
Uh-huh.
both with risk and without risk. But I didn't know. I had no practical experience at it, zero.
Got it. And I say right now, how long have you been in terms of the options trading here with me? It's been about 2 months, you said?
About 2 months now.
2 months. How has the experience been in terms of, I guess, the time commitment and whatnot compared to you've been here with me in terms of the stock trading as well? How does that experience compare from stock trading to now selling options? Like, is it a lot more time consuming? Is it more difficult? All these kind of what's sort of the
I
experience
think
like?
I think because we're coming at an angle of a conservative way of doing it, working with stocks that are undervalued. So we're it's the same philosophy as far as that goes, but the selling of the puts is more a conservative way, and you're just trying to get the premium. So it's very low time involvement. I work on Fridays. I That's really the days I try to do the weekly puts, and I just have to spend a little bit of time on Fridays in the morning, usually looking for these opportunities, and then cashing out and then buying new ones. And it's a little bit stress free compared to some other ways, I think, of just doing the regular trading.
A lot more stress-free, right? And a lot more
Yeah.
consistent, right? Like kind of what I told you coming into it. You should be expecting profits coming in on a like a weekly sort of basis. Did you find that to be the case?
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. I mean, I feel like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's working.
Now you sort of see like the system, you've seen how consistent it is, and I think now you're like saying you're starting to scale your account, right? When you mean of scaling, what do you mean by that? Like you're using funds from elsewhere, you have other funds. What
I
made
have
you
two buckets of money. One is the non-qualified, just a regular brokerage account, and then the other is my retirement account.
exactly?
So I think on my retirement account, I tend to, they're all conservative positions because they're all undervalued.
Yep.
But maybe I go a little bit more risky on the undervalued ones. And then, so far we've been going with some of the defensive positions, which is
Yep.
working out great because I just want them to stay about where they're at and collect that premium.
Awesome. In terms of like the risks that you feel with this strategy versus when you were stock trading and so forth, can you speak about how you said it's a lot more stress free? Can you
Yeah,
elaborate on that?
I don't really feel a lot of risk because if the positions, if I do end up owning them with the strategy, I'm putting the price down lower about 6 or 7%,
Correct.
or something like that. I don't know, just something, a certain amount.
Mhm.
It's a lower price than what was out. So I'm just, I'm like, okay, by if I end up having to be long, and it seems to be working out to where they, not getting assigned to me. So if they did, it wouldn't be the worst scenario, but it hasn't happened yet. I've just been collecting premium.
Awesome.
So
I
I
guess,
don't feel a lot of risk
yeah.
so far.
So you being totally fresh with this whole strategy, not really knowing much about this strategy. I know it's only been 2 months. Can you speak about like sort of the knowledge you gained across this? I know you said you're still a lot of it's relying on terms of like me and my support, but can you speak on sort of that support or sort of the knowledge that you've gotten so far in 2 months? Of course, we don't expect you to know everything, right? But can you sort of talk about like how that progression has been, just from, just your short stint, about 2 months or so
Yeah,
here
I
with
mean,
us?
options are scary, right? I mean, they can be. They're
Yeah.
intimidating. They're like they make you sign this thing. Well, the level of options this is like maybe one level, two level, three levels. This
Mhm.
is definitely level one.
Mhm.
It's like it's the one that they're like. So I feel like I went from not being able to do anything or being scared to do level one, level two, you name it. If it had the words option in it, I was like, I can't do that. I don't know. It's like it's foreign language to me.
Yeah.
To now, I feel I understand a little bit of the terminology. I understand this, what I'm doing is conservative, and I have a lot of confidence in doing these trades myself.
Yeah, I know
Um,
you've been
you know,
giving out some solid call outs. You're getting a lot of more of my mind into your mind now, sort of identifying when
yeah,
these positions fall. You kind of know to be looking out for these positions now, or sort of what that ballpark of what strike price to get into, right?
yeah. I mean, there's the strike price. There's the expiration date where, you can go weekly or monthly. And I've
Hmm.
been focusing more on the weekly ones because you get paid a little bit more than on the monthly. Uh, a little bit more. It's a little bit more work, but it pays a little bit better. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that now I've kind of got a flow of how the components of doing this type of trading, are, and it's pretty straightforward, really.
It's pretty much uncovering what to really focus on instead of being overwhelmed with a bunch of different things that you probably see online and all that kind of stuff. So it's good. Can
Yeah.
you sort of dive into like, I know now you feel, how does the impact of like learning this strategy help for you? I guess you being in like retirement, towards retirement age and so forth. I know you're good. You're even starting to teach you're trying to get your daughter into something like this. What's like
Yeah,
the
yeah. I
impact, I
mean,
guess, of this? Yeah.
I just think that it's a great thing to know so you can have freedom, whatever age you are. But certainly, if I have collected a little bit of money in my time at retirement, so it makes retirement to where you have to replace maybe an income if you stop working totally. I feel confident about that, where I didn't have that before.
Awesome.
Uh,
I'd love to hear it. Yeah, and I think you had some, I think your aspirations in terms of, I mean, you were telling me all the time your personal stories of like things that you wanted to do with your daughter or like making sure that she has a secure financial future and so forth. It's great to
yeah,
hear that it's helped you and all that kind of stuff. I guess from a time perspective, you as well, you're talking about like being able to have that freedom to do what you enjoy, right? For you
yeah.
specifically, like pickleball, like you were saying, right?
Yeah, I mean, and looking at the screen all the time, like you do sometimes, if you're really, into day trading or any type of swing investing, or just really sometimes, just worrying about your nest egg if you're in a 70-30 split of stocks and just conservatively that's what you've been all the time. And now you're getting my age, yeah, having that time and lack of worry is huge.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like this has given me is, the time to do what I want, maybe to step back. I don't think I will step back from working, but
Mhm.
it certainly makes it easier and maybe even travel to overseas, because that's something we're going to be doing, going to China and different places. So
I love
excited
to hear
about
it.
that.
Yeah. So it's giving you time, your time back, and less of the emotional stress of the markets, of checking things, of every single move with the markets, which I had that same experience too when I was trading inside the markets. You kind of have that urgency to check every small move with it, and especially when you're buying stocks directly, those have direct impacts into how much you're making or losing, right? With this strategy, it allows you, like you said, the stock can fall 3, 4, 5%, and you'd still be okay in your position. I call it like a win-win strategy. If it actually goes into where we want it, we actually will make even more money from it in the reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit of a learning experience, because I've done it just in the short time I've been doing it, a little bit this way, a little bit that way, as far as getting in and getting out, with the price going up, with it going down. But generally, when you're going in, I'm looking for the little red. But I bought some when the stock was going up, as long as it was one of our good stocks,
Hmm.
and I still feel okay about it. It's like I can do about anything as long as I'm dealing with these good stocks, and I feel confident that owning stock at a very low price. So I feel like you said, I'm not looking at the screen. I'm not really not paying much attention to it until a little bit during the week, and then a lot of it on Thursday and Friday. But
Awesome.
not even a lot of it, But Friday, yes,
Yeah.
because I'm looking to get to switch them out.
How's like the support since you like joined in terms of for the options and all that kind of stuff?
Well, on the option, it's been great. I mean, I really appreciate your help on that. And you know, it's it's something that pulling the trigger at the first couple times, it had a little hand holding, and then after that, still you've always been there to help me out a little bit, and getting back to me. I guess the best days to do it is weekly instead of monthly, and
Mhm.
you have to do it. You have to buy them and then sell them, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been getting lots of good help from you. Appreciate that.
Awesome.
That's for
Yeah,
sure.
you've been great. You ask a lot of questions, you want to learn, so it's been an absolute pleasure. I know when we first got into, even we got in a position that ended up not going out the way that we wanted to at the very beginning. So it was good to see that, hey, you didn't be like, damn, it didn't go exactly the way we wanted it to, even though we had a high probability. And then you continued on. That's the main thing. And then now
Right.
we're just on a roll from
Yeah,
that
that
point.
that was a very good learning experience, because
But
it could have ended up being even better.
yeah,
Uh, but
hindsight.
it's all the emotions. This is something that's easy to keep your emotions out of,
Mhm.
uh, and do okay. Even if in that one, it didn't go exactly as we hoped, but it could have ended up that much, super, super good, actually, even though
Yeah.
it went the wrong way.
Yeah.
And it still ended up good, you
Yeah.
know.
That's the beauty
So
of all this. Yeah.
yeah.
I guess the last question I have for you is just like, who would you recommend this to a certain person? Is there a certain demographic, or is like anyone could like, pretty much learn this?
Yeah, I mean, I would say anybody that's, has that nest egg, they're just kind of looking towards protecting it. It's really perfect for that demographic. 50 and above, probably, retire, or even older, maybe retirement age.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is something that it's something that I was looking for. I'd heard about, but you see so many things online, you
Yeah.
know, you don't want to do the wrong one first.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've done that.
Yeah. I know. I've seen a lot of people, they overcomplicate the process. They're doing it with incorrect positions and whatnot. There's a lot of things. It seems simple, but there's a little nuance to it that you just have to sort of get the system to really understand. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. I guess do you have any like closing thoughts? I pretty much went over a lot of stuff, but I guess I just want to see if you have any like closing thoughts or anything like that.
No, I mean, I'm excited about it. I love doing it. I love doing it and then not having to worry about it till the next Friday.
Awesome.